Leonardo da Vinci was born in 1452 in Italy. His mom was a peasant, and the father of Leonardo da Vinci only had one child with the mother, but many other children. So Leonardo da Vinci had a lot of half siblings. At a young age, he had a niche for art, and his dad's side set him up to be an apprentice to Andrea del Verrocchio, a famous artist at the time, and he went under his apprenticeship. And later, in 1482, when he was independent master, he started his work on the Adoration of Magi, but he never got to finish it because of problems in Italy at the time. Then in Milan, 1495 to 1498, he made The Last Supper, which is a really influential piece and is still very famous today. The Last Supper is about Jesus eating his Last Supper with his disciples, and how one of his disciples will betray him and he will die after this Last Supper because the Romans and Italy at this time was Christian, so he made it for a monastery in Italy, and this piece gives a lot of emphasis on Jesus, making him a focal point. As you could see in the painting, Jesus is the center and the main piece of the painting, which makes sense because he's Jesus and this is in a monastery. So basically, a focal point is an area of a painting that has the most attention and draws the viewer's eye the most. It's a bullseye on the target. An example that Martyr gives in her article. And Jesus is the bullseye on the target in this painting. And Jesus is in the center of the table, as you could see, and he's in the center of the room. And also, all of his disciples are pointing at him. And the picture seems pretty balanced. There's like an equal amount of people on each side. There's left, right. They're all pointing at Jesus, which is in the middle. And as you could see in the windows and the doorway, Jesus is in front of the entryway, and he's the only one that takes up that space. He takes up the most space out of anyone else. And the other two groups are represented by the other two windows, left and the right, which are smaller openings. And he's also the center of the ceiling, as you could see. And basically just the whole painting. This represents that he's a figure of importance and may represent that he's divine, he is holiness. Leonardo da Vinci made this piece of art during the Renaissance, and he was one of the most prominent Renaissance artists. He created new boundaries, not only in the arts, but in science as well. He was inventor, architect, painter, and he studied the sciences as well. For example, anatomy, mechanics, and he was also really good at self-teaching. Leonardo da Vinci, best example for a Renaissance man at the time. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.